Round 5 of this championship, and we are in Circuit de Barcelona, and it is absolutely pissing it down. It is absolutely soaking. You've got Christian Horner under his Red Bull umbrella with a very weird looking guy staring dead-eyed into the camera. Sebastian Vettel is on pole position, while Mauricio Arrivabene just standing in the rain like he doesn't care whatsoever. Now, it wasn't a bad qualifying, it wasn't as good as Russian Grand Prix, but Ferrari locked out the front row of the grid. As you can see, not even a tenth between the Ferraris, but obviously Mercedes little bit further off that. But we managed P5 ahead of the Red Bulls. So like I said, I think it was 2 episodes ago, we are gonna do our best to beat the Red Bulls as best we can. I mean, we can beat everyone else more or less, which sounds kind of big-headed, but our teammate can't do anything. It's Julian Palmer. I mean, I didn't expect him to really do anything, in all honesty, but it'd be nice if I had some help, especially considering the conditions. I'm quite handy in the wet, but I prefer the dry. But looking back at our previous results, Australia 3rd, China 6th, Bahrain 5th, and Russia 1st place. That first place was absolutely fantastic. On the thing, different colours correspond with anything else. Anything below our objective, which is 7th, would be red. Anything above that would be green, and then 3rd, 2nd, 1st, obviously gold, silver, and bronze. So, just a slight explanation as to what the colours were. But it's looking interesting. Hopefully we can get off to a better start. I mean, we didn't have a bad start in Russia. It was just that everyone else got a better start. So, I mean, it's not my fault. Traction just wasn't very good on that track. But we're waiting for the lights. It's still absolutely bucking it down. It's supposed to be a one-stop race here in Spain. We're underway and we get off to a mediocre start, but we've immediately got them red arrows, which means someone is alongside us, and that is going to be a Red Bull of Max Verstappen. So Verstappen's absolutely flown past us. We're going to get past Verstappen, we're going to lock a few tyres, and we're actually going to get past Bottas by accident. That was not supposed to be a challenging move past the Finnish driver, but we're not going to say no. Hamilton gets very sideways while battling with Kimi, so we're going to try and pounce on this opportunity as best we can. We're going to max out the rev limit. We're going to have a look up his inside. Not that we can see much because of the spray. We're going to hit tyres. Hulkenberg throws up his hand in frustration. And that's P3. So considering we started P5? P5. Taking both Mercedes on the first lap. That is absolutely fantastic. And we're setting purple sectors on the second lap. So we've got a little bit of a gap to Valtteri Bottas. So we're looking pretty decent, actually. I said I was handy, but I didn't think this much. But when there's skip to lap 6, then there's actually a safety car. Now, the reason for this, I have no idea. I looked on the race director, there was no incidents. I looked on the replay cameras, there was no cars, no debris, nothing. The only thing I can think of is when I looked at the weather for this this race, it came up with not a thunderstorm. It could have been a thunderstorm, I can't remember, but it looked like severe rain on the weather chart. And that's the only reason I can think of, that they brought out a safety car, because it's too difficult to drive in. This makes no sense. I don't know what Kimi Räikkönen is doing, but that's the only thing I can think of why they brought out a safety car for no reason, or considered there was no damage or anything. Which was really quite weird. I mean, if that is the reason, fair play, because that's awesome. As well as, obviously, some people have had it where debris on the track, they bring out a safety car, which is awesome. The only thing that bugs me is how long a safety car's out. I mean, I know it's like it in real life, it's even worse in real life, but when you're actually driving it and it's so slow, it's just so infuriating. It's just not really what you want to watch, to be honest. But we're behind Kimi Räikkönen, and we're doing whatever we can to just try and hold on to the back of him. We're going to put it into Rich, but we haven't got that much fuel in reserve. The fuel tank on this Renault is not the best, but we're just going to just fast forward a little bit, see what we can do. And we've actually kept hold of Kimi Räikkönen. We've left the Mercedes for dust. The Mercedes are nowhere in sight from us. We set a personal best, and we're going to probably set another personal best, getting the toe from Kimi Räikkönen. We're going to look down the inside, and we're going to comfortably pass this Ferrari into turn 1, even if he does fight back just a little bit. But we're going to be up into P2. Now, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but we're actually battling the Ferraris on pure pace alone. It's very similar to Russia when we was battling the Mercedes, but on lap 13, Vettel's gone, and I'm actually coming into the pits because the engineers told me it's time for inters. Now, it's a bit of a gamble because I was in a second place position, not doing too bad against Kimi, not catching Vettel, but it looked like a solid second place. I'm hoping that the track dries out enough in the next 4 laps, that I'll be able to maybe challenge Vettel. If that happens, then awesome. If not, then I've made a bit of a boo-boo. But we're going to go down the inside of Kvyat, and we're going to squeeze Kvyat out because we don't like Danny Kvyat. He's a waste of talent. Anyway, we're going to come through, and it's hard to tell if the intermediates are better than the wets. But through the S sections, they're fantastic. And obviously coming up to like heavy braking zones such as this, they're so much better. Like, I can feel the grip. Like, points is just here. 7th is only just down the road. If you look on the radar, you can see all those cluster of cars. I haven't got that many laps, but at this point I'm not sure if it wasn't a bad idea, but I wasn't sure if it was the optimum strategy to swap tyres and go on from there. Maybe if there was like 8 laps, then yeah, sure. But worst case scenario, we might lose 2nd place to Kimi and might come 3rd. But we're just going to try and blitz through this as fast as we can and just try and see where we finish. As long as we finish on the podium, it's not the end of the world. It would be nice to regain that 2nd, but bearing in mind how quick the Ferraris are and how little laps we have left, it's probably not realistic. I think at this point we were gaining like 3 seconds a lap on the Ferraris, and bearing in mind there's only like 3 laps to go. It's not only going to like gain 9 seconds in that time. So again, it wasn't the optimum strategy, but it was so much fun just coming through, just cutting through the field. It was like a pursuit during an actual race where obviously you're driving all these slower cars, and you're just absolutely leaving them for chips in the acceleration zones and just diving down them on the braking zone. So it felt like that. But we're up into P6. We see Max Verstappen on the final lap. So his 5th place, 4th and 3rd aren't too far ahead actually. I believe it's both Mercedes. So Mercedes think right now they're battling for podium position, because I've done one. I've gone and put like intermediate tyres on. Like, what the hell am I thinking? And then on the last lap of the race, I'm just going to appear in both of their mirrors. Hamilton's going to see me, be like, oh crap, here we go. So we're going to have a look at Lewis Hamilton, and it's going to be a very late lunge, but I know I can make it stick just because of these tyres. These tyres are so much more grippier than the wets, especially in these conditions. That's why Bottas is going so slowly, and we're actually going to go around all the way around his outside here. We're crawling pretty much because we don't want to make contact, even if he does drive into me. But if Vettel does win this race, Kimi comes 2nd, I come 3rd, not all that far behind. Bearing in mind I lost 2nd place, but I'm happy with getting 3rd and having a bit of fun at the same time, because driving around for them 4 laps, just keeping ahead of Kimi, that would have bored me to tears. So I lost, what, 3 points? It's really not the end of the world. I mean, I'm comfortable in the championship at the moment, well ahead of 7th. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care. But it was good fun to splash around in the wet. You got a glitch there. I thought I saw this when I recorded it. You got, I think that was Felipe Massa getting out of his car, and he had the same helmet as Lewis Hamilton. If you didn't see what I mean, go back and have a look. But I thought I saw that when I recorded it, but I wasn't sure. And obviously I can't replay a recording. But yeah, I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad I could confirm with myself that that's definitely what I saw. But Nico Hülkenberg is on the podium again. His overalls matching the podium this time, which is pretty nice to see, black and yellow. Wiz Khalifa would be very proud, but that's not too bad. I mean, that's what, our 2nd podium, 3rd if you technically speaking. But yeah, our 3rd podium in about 5 races, which is fantastic. We're now in between the Mercedes, and we're actually overtaking Red Bull in the standings. So that win in Russia did us really good, and this podium here obviously helped out too. But the next one is Monaco. I'm absolutely dreading it. I really don't want to do it, but I guess I'll see you guys in Monaco. Bye bye.